Yo, party peeps, what is up? It's your boy, the best Gabber in the biz. World's End is officially in the books, and we can close the book on AEW's calendar year 2024, where it was a lot of great stuff happened, including what happened tonight on the pay-per-view, including a return that was rated R, a tease for a huge main event match for next year's All In, and some toilet paper being thrown. So guys, let's just stop talking about it and let's start gabbing about it. First things first, let's talk about how that show ended. It was the Fatal 4-Way for the AEW World Championship and between Jon Moxley, Hangman, Adam Page, Jay White, and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. The match, it was solid. It did have to follow Osprey and Okada. I'll talk about that later. So, in all fairness, if you felt it was like underwhelming or like not on par, maybe sometimes it's like the positioning. But I think at the end of the day, it was solid. Got accomplished what it needed to get done. Jay White takes the pin after awesomely hitting Marina Shafir with that Blade Runner. Good job, Jay. Freaking awesome. And then at the end of it, Mox, Yuta, Claudio all standing in the ring. All of a sudden we hear FTR's music and they just stop right before getting in the ring. The lights go out and all you hear is, "You think you know him." And Adam Copeland is finally back. Let's effing go. So hype, so hype, so hype. And it has already been made official for Wednesday. Copeland, FTR is going against the Death Riders, Mox, Yuta, and Claudio in a trios match this Wednesday Dynamite. That's going to be the main event for the first simulcast show on Max for Dynamite. Fight for the Fallen, the mother of all simulcasts. And overall, it's looking like we're going to get Cope and Mox Grand Slam Australia. Like you could feel the energy of like, holy shit, this is going to be awesome. But I've seen most people be like, yeah, awesome, this is great, we want Copeland back. Awesome. But I've seen some criticism of like, well, the old man from WWE is going to fight to save it. I'm like, you're acting like he's actually saving AEW, of like he's going to be the one that does it. It's going to be an AEW original that ends up being the one to do it. Like if it's a Darby or a Hangman or an Eddie Kingston. But top guys who you guys wanted have to rise and fight Mox, so then when they're knocked down, you're like, shit, what are we going to do? I would have done the exact same thing with Adam Copeland, and I would have Samoa Joe, if you could, come back and do it. Like, yeah, you could put in guys like Adam Cole and still have the same effect, but the point is to be like, dude, we're taking out legends of this business who are trying to, like, help this company, and they are falling at our feet. And it's like, what the hell are we going to do? And that one AEW original of, like, Eddie, Hangman, or Darby is going to find a way and be the one. Like, it's not that complicated at the end of the day. Plus, now with Kenny Omega back, again, and I said this with Darby climbing Mount Everest, if the end goal is All In, Hangman very well could be the one, because Kenny, as an EVP, before he goes out to fight Okada at All In, could be the one to try to bring Hangman back to who he really is, and he could be the one that ends up dethroning Mox. So at the end of the day, Cope and Mox are going to tell a great story and have a great freaking match at Grand Slam Australia, which I cannot wait for. So for all you that are loving it like me, let's effing go. And for some of you that are like hating on it, maybe a bit too much, some of you lean towards a whole different crowd anyway, but at the end of the day, trust in that it's going to be super awesome. Plus, Copeland's back, and this shit's going to be awesome. Guys, we had a lot of great matches and title matches that went down here tonight. We even got a little bit of a, an undisputed reunion, so you say. But at the end of the day, between the matches, great matches like the Keshta and Powerhouse Hobbs and, all the great C2 action that we had, Mercedes Mone versus Chris Statlander TBS title. If you want to say that was match of the night, I am not going to try to disagree with you. I'm not, because it was absolutely incredible. That match was beyond amazing. People try to hold Mercedes down so bad because they're so loyal to the WWE brand, but she's having an in-ring year like no other. She has just been straight bang, 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 classic after classic after classic. She even recovered from that Britt Baker thing, and that can be a little hard with how that was this year. Like, dude, she's one of the best to ever do this for a reason. So suck it to the haters. Honestly, the only person I could think to possibly take the title offer is Ty Mel. She's the only person I could see left that could take that title offer. I did think for a minute it might be Chris Statlander. I thought for a second they were going to go 30 minutes and have a time limit draw. But that match, it was crazy. I know some people have been like, it was a little weird with the whole stat turning heel and then back to face. But she did it like the drop of a dime, and look how over she already got again as a face, just like she was before she turned. Like, she's just that good. And she's good at making you feel at the end of the day. So, again, great match. Mercedes, Chris, caps off. My hat is off as well to you. Incredible match. I can't wait to see what both do in 2025. If they want to give Chris a world title shot, I have no problem with that. Future Women's World Champion. And Mercedes, at the end of the day, just keep doing what you're doing. You're the one and only CEO, and you're just going to keep going until there is no mo. And that's never going to happen because my girl just can't be stopped. She can't be stopped. All right, guys, let's talk about a little bit of that C2 action in terms of someone who ended up on the losing side after promising to win. Ricochet, who is out of this world, is now in the toilet paper. Oh boy. Swerve did promise you, bro. He promised that if you didn't fulfill that promise to win this turn, he was going to embarrass you and make it big. And all weekend, bro, was having to face that toilet paper in freaking Hammerstein Ballroom. And it looks like it's about to lead to a hella crash out. Dude, that was so awesome. All the front rows tossing friggin' TP in the friggin' ring at behest of Swerve and be like, yo, Happy New Year, Trevor. Dude, the face Ricochet was having, he's like, for the first time ever, we're seeing Ricochet like getting serious, getting mad, and he's like, I want to effing hurt him. I want to hurt people. Thus, fulfilling the wishes of the Hurt Syndicate, because this is what the MVP wanted, it's what Lashley wanted, it's what Shelton wanted. These are the traits that they want, because now Ricochet's going to want to hurt Swerve, and he's definitely going to beat him at least once when they fight. But most importantly, I think he hurts him, puts him out for like a couple weeks, and it's like, now, bro, you're in the Hurt Syndicate. And with MVP as his mouthpiece, he'll do just fine on the mic aspect, and then in the ring with this new attitude and this full crash out. It's kind of a little justified. I mean, I would too if people just do TP at me on freaking live pay-per-view. God dang. It's gonna equal phenomenal shit for Ricochet in 2025 and beyond. Showing that he is world championship level caliber, because dude, look at the Hurt Syndicate, bro, looking like $1 million, because at the end of the day, it's all about business. And in this business, we hurt people. Just gotta say, man, I'm so excited. Guys, let's talk about it. Freaking, I did unfortunately miss Osprey and Fletcher. I thankfully was able to see their match at Full Gear like live in person. I'm sure it was just on par, but I unfortunately missed it due to streaming issues. But I was able to see Okada versus Ricochet, and Okada punch his ticket, and then Okada versus Osprey was incredible. Now I kind of had the mindset of I think Osprey wins because even though they have fought 3 times this year and Osprey is 2-1, they built up as after Osprey beat Fletcher earlier tonight, they're 1-1. So I was like, okay, Okada probably loses. Osprey wins the championship, holds it for like 2 months until Grand Slam Australia. Fletcher beats him for the Continental Championship there. Done and done. But Okada ended up retaining, and it pretty much, we see why. Kenny Omega is back. Do I think Okada will still have the Continental Championship? Only because, 1, I don't think it needs it. And 2, there is one guy I could definitely see beating Kazuchika Okada for that Continental Championship, and his name is the almighty Bobby Lashley. Because again, we hurt people. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to freaking Kenny versus Okada. Finally, I mean, Okada and Osprey lived up to the hype if you have never seen it over in New Japan. So I'm sure Kenny and Okada are going to do the exact same thing when they do it at All In. I love that little slow burn because I think as well, Kenny will probably deal. I've seen theories of like deal with Jack Perry, stuff like that. But the end goal for him is against Okada, Continental Championship potentially at All In. And in the meantime, I think he starts bringing Hangman back to the light, and potentially for Hangman to become the next AEW World Champion and being the one to finally dethrone Jon Moxley. And Osprey, dude, he's that guy. He's that guy. Swerve, Pac, friggin' MJF, now Okada, Fletcher, like Takeshita, like Danielson, like Darby. There were so many moments where he literally kicked bell rings. Holy shit, and we're just like jaws dropped in amazement. Like, dude, if Fletcher is gonna be world champion by 2026, Fletcher might be beating Will Osprey for that belt, or Osprey maybe beats him for that belt, because just either way, bro is on another level, bro. But at the end of the day, Okada is still a Continental Champion. And you never know. He could end up beating Kenny, too. Come on. Okay, guys, that is World's End. We are done. Ski put in the rearview mirror. We are done. A great year for AEW. Got through some dumb bullshit, but they have set themselves up for a great 2025 and beyond. For I feel like it's going to end up going down as like, and we look at it, it's like, dude, this almost feels like a second thriving period. Every week's like, holy shit, this is amazing. Every pay-per-view, just like, oh my god, let's go with the wrestling stories and all that's said and done. And then hand in hand with WWE, like both streaming like on Netflix and Max respectively. 2025 is going to be an incredible year that spurs on more incredible years. And hopefully we see fan favorites, like Darby and Sammy and others winning the first championships or first world championships. And it's going to be absolutely incredible and having dope reigns with that. But 2024 may be over for AEW, but it's not over for WWE just yet. There is the final Raw of 2024 coming this Monday, as it's the last one before we go to Netflix. Is Reigns going to finally show up and do something with Solo Sikoa? Like, what the hell is going on with that? And how are CM Punk and Seth Rollins going to try to, not kill each other before they get to their huge matchup that goes down on January 6th at the first Raw on Netflix. Guys, you're not going to want to miss any of these shows going down. You're certainly not going to want to miss what your boy, the best Gabber in the biz, has to say afterwards. So keep on liking, keep on subscribing, and most importantly, keep on remembering that when it comes talking wrestling, who better to gab with than Gabe right here. It's time to move on. Thank you, AEW, for another great year. Let's give it to WWE so we can close it out just as right. So, deuces, fuses, and I'll see you guys after the final Raw of 2024. Get out of here.